Alright, this is the Death Standblade build. It's fucking OP, no procs. Get used to it. Um, as a Standblade, I really couldn't find anything more powerful than this build. Like, I've tested everything, Hunting's Rage, fucking Spriggans, all that shit. This always comes out on top. Um, but it is using Clever Alchemist, so if you don't like Clever Alchemist, I mean, you could find an alternative, but if you're a good player and you know when to pop that potion, you shouldn't have a problem. So, my race, Khajiit, obviously, no brainer. Oh, yeah, down here, all the fucking passives and shit. That health recovery comes in handy. Stam recovery is also good. Reduce the fucking detection radius, and the important part, it increases your damage and stealth by 10%. That's the real important part. And increases your weapon critical by 8%. That's also going to come into play. Okay, what else we got? The gear. Let's get onto the gear. I want to make this shit short and sweet. I don't like spending a fucking hour listening to people talk about their goddamn build. Alright, so Clever Alchemist, sharpened bow and sword. The increased weapon and spell damage on the glyph on the front bar, which my bow is my front bar, I'll get to that later. And the reduced target's physical and spell resistance on the back bar. Clever Alchemist and Automaton. The fucking most OP combo I could come up with that I could even find. Because I've paired up a bunch of different shit for raw damage and nothing compares to this setup. We got one Velajeth. I did have on one Krags for more penetration, but I tested it on players, adds, dummies, and Velajeth still comes out on top. All divines. Don't be a fucking pussy and wear impen. All divines. One stamina recovery glyph on the neck, and then 2 weapon damage, obviously. In open world, I don't really use poisons because I think they're a little bit cheese, but in duels, I mean, people use it against me, so I'm using it against them. This one's my favorite. Increase their ultimate cost, drains health, and reduces their physical and spell resistance. Fucking dope. But this is my go-to. Like, I only got 18 left of these, so I'm not really using those right now. But I had like 3,000 of these. I use these all the time in duels. The increased cost, they're fucking nasty. Yeah, alright, what else we got? Food. The food that I'm using. Lusty Argonian. I used to use the fisheye ride, the double magicka and stamina recovery, but now I found this. It adds health recovery. And that's how that Khajiit passive comes into play with this. It's fucking crazy. Like, the health recovery isn't off the charts or anything, but it's just enough to, like, get me... It's enough to make up for the fucking vampire. You know what I mean? So yeah. Triple recovery. It's dope as fuck. What else? I have a fucking list on my phone because I know I'm gonna just forget shit. Alright, so we got the fucking gear, the poisons, the food. I'm gonna just show you the stats now. Now, because Automaton, what it does, there's like hidden damage. Adds 391 damage to your physical damage abilities, and that does proc off your bow. So, here's the stats. Where we at? Oh, let me put... forgot to put this on. I had to put Rapids to get over to this dope ass spot, you feel me? Alright, there it is. 4.1, almost 4.2, 77 crit. Look at the health recovery, look at the stam recovery, look at the magicka recovery. Health is a little low. It's pretty much all you need in Cyrodiil, 20k for a stam blade if you know how to play it. The max stam is low, but the recovery's high enough to where it doesn't really matter to me. Like, the damage from the sets make up for it. Like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter that your max isn't that fucking high. Yeah, I got 1k crit resist. I just got that with CP. Not a big deal. You don't need 2k if you're a stand blade and you know how to play it. Physical spell resistance, that's pretty decent, but that's because I golded out all my gear and shit, and then it goes up to 15.5 almost. So my back bar is actually, I think it has a little bit more damage on it. Yeah, just a little bit, like 30 more damage on it, but that's because on my front bar I'm using Flawless Dawnbreaker and Camouflage Hunter, which having both of those on your bar increase the damage. While slotted, your weapon damage is increased by 5%, and this one increases your crit. That's how I'm getting 77 crit on my bow bar. It's because I got all divines plus this guy right here. Shit, what else? Yeah, I might as well go into CP and then just cover the skills really quick. I'm trying to make this fast. I don't like to talk a lot about fucking builds or whatever. Nothing in there. 7% on Hardy and Elemental Defender. This isn't like as important as it used to be in the previous patches because now we got Ironclad. Reduces damage taken against direct damage attacks, which if you're in a 1v1 is pretty much everything that hits you. 27 in spell shield, 27 in medium armor. Resistant, that's my crit resist right there. Not too much going on here in these trees. I mean, you're a nightblade. 43 in the mighty, 34 in the piercing. Make sure we get that 20% on the fucking increased crit strike damage because it's like a hybrid, high weapon damage, high crit build. It's fucking crazy. And then the 5% or 11 in the thermometers, the 5%, that's just for poison inject. That's just to make sure I get the kill off on people if I can't get to them or something, because I don't run a gap close on this build. You'll see why. 56 in the mastered arms, another 20%, need that. And then 10% into blessed, just because I had the fucking points left over. Just helps out a little bit. Reduced cost of sneak by 10%, 16 in there. 34 into tumbling. If you're a 1vxer, you know you gotta dodge roll a shitload, especially if you're a nightblade. This is just for the in-cap. I had like 5 points left over, and in-cap reduces healing and shit, so I thought I'd add 5% on that bitch. 5% or 19 into tenacity, 19 into healthy, 19 into arcanist. All 5% bonuses, just to well-rounded. I mean, as a nightblade or a standblade, you need fucking magic or recovery. I'm sorry, you need it. Like, if you're gonna be cloaking and fearing all the time, you need this shit. And then 14 into stamina recovery. You don't need the full 15 because it's better to just put 75 and allocate the points other places like this. That's how I do it. And then reduce break free cost or whatever, 10% on that. So that's CP. What the fuck else is on this list? Okay, the skills. We'll finally go over the skills. So, this is my front bar. Poison inject, no brainer. It's like an execute, but it's like a ranged execute. It's pretty dope. Relentless focus. Okay, so I made sure I have relentless focus. And wait, relentless focus and mirage on both. Like, I have to have an assassination ability on both bars. That way my health stays the same. Because if it drops below 20k, I mean, I don't know, I have OCD. I kind of just want it to be the same health on both bars, I guess. But no brainer, 8% damage, 10% stamina recovery. And on my bow bar, I do have mass hysteria. So like, the point of this build is you can range people and take people out from like 30 fucking meters away. But if they want to come fuck with you, you got this to stun them, and then boom, switch to the back bar, execute them. Camouflage Hunter, it increases your weapon damage because of the fucking Fighters Guild passive. Increase your weapon damage by 3% for each Fighters Guild, so I got a 6% bonus on this bar, which is pretty good. And Expert Hunter, you can bring people out of stealth with this. It's kind of like the stamina version of Mage Light, and it increases your crit. And then if you hit somebody from stealth or some shit like that, it increases your damage by like 8%. So that's a no-brainer. And then a lot of people use Lethal Arrow, but focused aim hits harder, and then it puts a mark on them so you can hit them from like 5 extra meters or some shit like that. And it reduces their fucking physical resistance, so like, that was a no-brainer for me too. Flawless Dawnbreaker, I don't even really use this ultimate. This is just here to increase the damage. I would use smiting if I actually planned on fucking using it, but this isn't my ultimate stun. My ultimate stun is in cap. So the back bar is basically when somebody decides to come over and fuck with me because they're getting hit by my bow shit. They're like, oh fuck that guy, we're gonna run up on his ass. So I go stealth, pop a potion, charge up a heavy attack, in cap, and if that doesn't kill him, I just start whacking him with the executioner. But resolving vigor, rally, main heals, no brainer right there. Shadow on the back bar. I mean, this is basically my heal and escape bar. and execute bar all in one. And then I use Mirage now. I used to use double take for the extra speed, but I'll get to that why I don't need that anymore. And plus, in 1v1 situations, you kind of want more physical and spell resistance, and it increases your dodge chance by 15%, and it uses Magicka. So like Shuffle, the reason I don't like using Shuffle is because it uses so much fucking stamina, and my max is only 28k for stamina, so this is what I use. And the reason I don't need the increased speed anymore is because you could either dodge roll on the bow bar and get that speed. Where's it at? From this right here, dodge roll and increases your movement speed by 30%, or yeah, movement speed by 30% for like 5 seconds after you dodge roll. But that's not even the main thing. If I really want to get the speed going, I use these, boom, potions. Essence of Speed grants major expedition, increasing your movement speed by 30% for 47.6 seconds. So it's basically the fucking battle drought. It's basically these, but it adds speed. So it increases your stamina recovery, gives you stamina back, and major brutality, all for 47.6 fucking seconds. It's amazing. And how I got that is, you go down here, make sure you get your alchemy to 50, and then medicinal use. When using potions, resulting effects last 30% longer. Huge. Huge. I think I covered everything, dude. I think that's everything. Playstyle and all that shit. I'll buff up one more time so you can see the stats. There it is. Beautiful. The ultimate stand blade build, in my opinion. Fuck procs. I'm out this bitch.